just from the Trang beach. It's a super nice weather. It's not super hot. I mean, okay, I'm lying. It's hot, it's warm, but it's not super sunny. It's very moderate. The water is quite upset. The waves are up there, and well, I'm just sitting on the how you call it. Anyways, yeah, let's see. Oh, hi. Hello, how are you? I'm doing well. How are you doing? The view is beautiful. I was doing some short form content. That's one of the things I'm trying to focus on all of my platforms, and well, I'm done with that. But then I decided just to go live from here. Why not? I had my mic, I have my phone holder. So yeah. Yeah, it's a big waves, but just for you to know, guys, it is quite shallow. It is quite shallow here. So this region is quite protected from the tsunamis and all that kind of stuff. Let me see, I'm getting some messages. Okay, yeah, no, it's just notifications. Doing good, good. I'm happy that you're doing well. But yeah, when I'm doing live streams like that, just feel free to ask questions. There's nothing specific right now. I'll try my best to do the training video, the training live stream later today. And yeah, basically that is the plan. Keep growing the platform and the community. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Yeah, not much movement, just some people saying hi. Hi to you too as well, guys. Feel free to share where you're from, the parts of the world you're engaging from. It's very cool because sometimes they're the most random places. I think the most far place from me was Antarctica. Like this is the one person was watching from there, so it's quite cool. What do you love most, beach or the mountains? I love both, I'll be honest. And here you have both to a certain extent. Let me show you a little bit. So even here, it doesn't seem too big here, but it's quite a big mountain, and you see there are mountains out there, so you can explore that area as well. But the best thing about this place is the beach. And the weather is amazing. There's always a nice cool wind, and that is thanks to the mountains. So if you ask me to choose, I think it's just different periods of my life. Sometimes I prefer the ocean, sometimes I prefer the mountains. Your name is Rifle. Nice to meet you. My name is Diana. Quite a view. Yeah, it's beautiful, it's peaceful. This is like a north of Nha Trang. It's a little bit further from the center, and it's quieter, except if we don't consider the main road. So one of the main roads goes across. Like if you can see, this is the coastal road. So it's pretty much loud everywhere, but the beach itself, the coast, this is super chill. So enjoy the view. Good morning from a wet Dublin, 6 a.m. here. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely want to visit Ireland one day, especially, and I've been told myself that I look Irish, which I'm fake ginger, but I'm pulling it off quite well. So quite often I'm told by people that they assume that I'm from Ireland. Well, I'm not a Brazil kid, Brazil girl, and well, maybe you are. I didn't get that one. Okay, hello boxing lady warrior. That's someone who knows me. That's someone who watches my live streams. Thank you. Hi William. Thanks for coming to the live stream again. Yeah, Cape Town is interesting. Maybe one day. You know, there's so many countries in the world. And me and my husband travel together, so it's not just, we're not that nomadic. I mean, we are, but at the same time, we just prefer to stay in one place for a longer time, you know, create the base. So it's not like we're traveling all around right now. It's, by the way, it's Vietnam, Nha Trang. Yeah, some people say it looks like Miami, but no, it's Nha Trang, it's Vietnam. It's a Vietnamese Miami. Have you been in Thailand though? No, not yet. Probably most likely on this stay in the Southeast Asia, we will. Have you made plans for India? Not at this point. Not at this point. Staying in Vietnam right now. Maybe a little bit traveling around here, around Vietnam. And when there's visa around, maybe Cambodia, maybe Thailand, and we shall see. Hi, I'm from Bali. I'm going next month to Vietnam. Oh, that's awesome. I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, I want to wear glasses, but at the same time, I don't really see that well with them on. I can't read the chat properly. What about Morocco? That would be cool. We have a couple of acquaintances in Morocco, but not like friends. Don't wear sunglasses. Your eyes are beautiful. Well, thank you. It's just my eyes are also smirking because of the sun. The sun is coming up a little bit, but it's pretty much cloudy today, and I hope it stays that way because I'm not a fan of aggressive sun. Привет, рыжая. Hi, Ginger. That's someone says here in chat. There is a shark at your back. Yeah. I think this is the last place that you would eat sharks. Super shallow though. Greetings from Mexico. Thanks about the kind words regarding my tattoos. I have a few. Sparring there. Yeah, let me stop people and just spar with them. Yeah, it's just I wish it worked like that. Not like fighting or asking for them to fight, but more like, oh, can I spar with you? And you do like a tap sparring, like a shoulder stomach sparring, and just keep going. That would be cool. That would be a cool world to live in. A tsunami coming. Thanks for this creation of woman. Well, that's quite praising and worshipping almost. I mean, guys, we gotta worship each other sometimes, you know, and tell each other that we're great. So, thanks, I appreciate it. I haven't trained boxing in a month. How has your training been going, ma'am? Just had the training yesterday. Mostly pushing on the conditioning right now because, like, technique, skill, they're normal, they're good. And they're always going to get better if you put some brains to it. But conditioning is something that you got to put an effort in, and so that's why my trainings are mostly now burnouts, intervals on the boxing bag at this point. Yeah, gonna try to do a little bit sparrings too, see how that works. But like the light sparrings in a high pace, just to keep that stamina up. You're in Thailand, now it's Vietnam. Shutdown is over. That's true. And my husband's crypto is going up gradually. So we've been following on that one. Like British speaking. I don't know. Do I sound British? I don't think so. I'm just a blend, a Frankenstein of different accents. We should worship the nature. That I agree with. Stay with the harmony with it. I love nature. And Nha Trang, the beauty of the Nha Trang city is it is a city. You have everything. Yeah, so it's not a village for sure. But at the same time, you have those spots and little islands and mountain areas. You can just seek for the solitude, and you can really feel the connection with the nature here. Even now, like the ocean breeze is blowing to the wind is blowing right into my spine, and it fills me with that with the energy. You know, it makes me feel connected. So, yeah, I agree. Your insights are always valuable. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, Villain. Thank you. I hope all is well. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. Hope one day you'll become a world champion, so I can tell my friends that one person I know is a world champion. Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, funny enough, a lot of female boxers that hold WBC, WBA, WBO, different weight class, they hold the champion statuses. They are plus 30, you know, like 35, almost in their 40s. So it's quite interesting for women. I think it's just because obviously the women competition is different. There's like different between men and women. So, I mean, somehow, I guess it's possible. I'm just 25. So, if I start building my record, start building my presence, and get better at it, well, that's the point actually. So, whatever it goes, it goes. Are you running for president? There are better things to do for me. I would be way more useful in other things, I think. Are you a UFC fighter? No, I'm not. I'm not a UFC fighter. I'm solely focusing on the boxing and looking forward to do some boxing pro matches, open my pro record. Where are you here? Where am I here? Here is Nha Trang. It's in Nha Trang, Vietnam. Hi to everyone. You look like the girl from Resident Evil movie. I've been told that a couple of times. Mark my words, one day you'll become world champion. You know what? So that's a motivation. So I'm just gonna keep going, and I believe with the hard and smart work, everything is possible, and with the help of the universe and the God as well. You gotta need a little luck as well, you know. Who you got? Islam versus Jake. GDM, you mean? 50. I don't know. I don't know which one it goes. I think people underestimate GDM a little bit way too much. I think it's gonna might go either way. It might go one or another way from the very beginning if one of them gets the better pace and dominates, or it can go like a long fight and you know, even end as a decision. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, I have a tattoo like starts between my chest, but it goes on the here. But you killed a couple of zombies with that smile. Yeah. I don't know, it made me smile. Thanks. Thank you for that. Luck is like a lock, and hard work is like a key for that lock. Yeah, that's it. I also believe in the art of whatever you do, whatever you create yourself with your that is completely up to you. You kind of set you write your life, you write your lifestyle, and it's kind of logical when you when you surround yourself with the right people. They're smart, they are kind, they're community focused, for example. When you are living in a good place, and you depending where you come from, but even if you choose to live in a place that makes you the happiest and gives you the best stability, things like that determine your luck. Obviously, you're going to be luckier, or so-called luckier, having a better people if you choose to be around a better communities, better people, rather than people that just and I don't diminish people who struggle and they just try to survive. I'm not talking about these people, but there are people who take things for granted. They basically have everything to have a good education, have the ability to create things, but they just voluntarily choose not to, right? So you don't want to be around this kind of people. I would go to the war with a picture of you in the wall with hopes to come back to you in my live streams. Okay, that's yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm from Georgia myself, so if you know Mirab and Ilya Tapuria, Mirab Valishvili, these are the guys originally from the same country. How long have you been in Vietnam? Except a couple months back in Georgia, almost a year now. Are you getting in the water? No, not today. I have my physiological reasons why not to, but yeah, usually it's just, gonna go swim in a few days. She's already married. Yes, by the way, yes, I'm married. So everything, I appreciate you guys. But yeah, you gotta know that I'm married. And he's in the chat. He's right now he's probably working, but then he hops in back in chat, and he's also moderating, one of the moderators. So you will have a chance to talk to my husband directly too, right in the chat. Your jab is great, but uppercut has a dobut. I don't know what that means. Well, I'll be honest, jab is the most thing I worked on, so straight punches, hooks. I use a lot of hooks. Uppercuts, not that much. So even when I go to the body, for example, it's more like a blow, it's more like a hook rather than uppercut. So I'm not really an uppercut person, unless in a very close range. So sometimes you're trying, and you have a gap, your opponent opens and you go uppercut and hook. That is a good combination. But just separately throwing long uppercuts, it doesn't work for me. I'm a shorter boxer, I have a shorter range usually, comparing to whoever I spar with. So for me, there is just no point to do that. Brock Lesnar, Habib. Well, different weight classes. Brock is a monster. Are you back in Vietnam? Yes. Hey, do you watch? I will watch the GD. I will watch the whole card. Maybe even prelims too. What is your record professional? I don't have professional record. I only have amateur record, probably 5 fights. The experience that I got, the most experience, is from the open ring tournaments, meaning that those are non-official fights. And now I'm gradually getting to the point and training to get, open the professional record. Why don't you live stream UFC fights? For the copyright reasons, I cannot just live stream like this. Well, I think once I did, no, it was boxing, Canelo Crawford and the whole card. I live streamed my reaction, so the camera was on me and I was watching it, so it was happening live. But other than that, I cannot do anything. Also, it's super late usually here, or super early. when they have the event. So it's just how to say that. Just usually I don't have camera with me. I'll try to do that maybe if it works for GDM versus Islam, but if not, I will have to watch it and then do the live stream. Cam keeps calling up, guys. Can you beat Ilya Tapuria in a single fight? Well, you heard about how Ilya doesn't spar anymore because he knocks out all his sparring partners, so no thank you. I've been missing the streams because I've been busy lately, and that's okay. You have your life, and this is part of my life. This is part of the important part of my journey, and for the goals that me and my husband are trying to achieve. So I'm gonna keep live streaming no matter what, and whenever you have time, just feel free to join. Okay, sending love and support from Jen Lunchman blog, Bingo Warriors blog, Team Bingo Warriors. Oh, okay. Well, sounds interesting. Thank you, though. I'm just trying to make her laugh. All chill out. Yeah, no, that was actually quite adorable way to say it. You know, like people in the internet say a lot of bullshit, and this wasn't like anything horrible. It really made me smile, so that's okay. What are those reasons? Okay, I'll be honest, I'm on my period. To 95% of my male audience, you know, that happens once in a month. So usually when women say physiological reasons, that's what it means. I mean, yeah. I don't think that, probably I shouldn't be, I could say it directly like this, and that's it, but, you know, I'm coming from Georgia, and Georgia, we would have so many other words to kind of like hint that, oh, we're like, because, I don't know, it kind of might be inappropriate to say it like this out loud in the public, but at the same time, it's a basic biology, it's something that happens to us, and what is biological and natural, I think should be just normal, right? Can you show the beach? Of course. Let me just... So this is like a boulevard. And look at the beach. Super nice. In the summertime, it gets a little bit hotter, but the water becomes like a pond. It is super, like no waves. It's super chill. Can you show your tattoo? As a dragon, a female face, and the katana. It's like a warrior themed tattoo. British food or Indian food? Pick one. I think Indian. I'm married, yes. San Francisco here. Hi, San Francisco. I'm smiling. I think because of the sun, I think I'm kind of smirking all this time here. Tom Aspinall fans be so disrespectful. I mean, I think Tom haters were not better either lately. I mean, come on, the guy was eye poked, like double eye poked, and here is the statistics: 14% of UFC fighters are the ones responsible for 65% of the eye pokes. That means that it's not it might be an accident, but it's a trained habit, right? And when people say, oh, but like he could continue, no, he couldn't. Like he would lose as a champion. If he was a contender, yes, he could continue and try his luck and, you know, push. He wouldn't have to lose much. But when it's your first title defense, you get double eye poked. And you don't have to necessarily get your retina distracted. It's just in that moment when you get double eye poked like that, you're not going to be able to see entire fight. And that's it. And considering that it was close fight and even their advantages to the gun, though Aspinall had a higher percentage of the head punches and he was starting getting his pace, essentially, yeah, there was no point for him to continue. The weather is super warm and nice. That's all I want. Make you laugh. I always heard they're married. The chat needs to chill out sometimes. Yeah, guys, let's not get too crazy. I mean, unless someone really being disrespectful to me or someone in the chat, I appreciate you standing up for people and for me as well. But yeah, like, we can chill. We can basic compliments, dark sense of humor, some stuff is okay. We don't have to cancel everything. I'm 25 years old. I used to train at your gym. Oh, that's cool. So you know guys from the Trang Sport Unite. Eye pokes are a big problem, too much for our letting class. But as I said, 14%. So the minority is doing most of the eye pokes, so that is the problem. That needs to be, it's not the good gloves issue at this point. It's you gotta put some penalties. You gotta be stricter on that one. And people are gonna start training towards not having their hands wide open while jabbing. Happy Chanter. Yes, I remember you. I remember at least your name being in the previous live streams. He made the right decision, but he was losing the first round. But that's the thing, first round doesn't determine anything. And he was not losing on all stats. The only reason he was losing by points was because Gan had the more landed body shots and the leg kicks. But when the head punches was way, like 51% was on like Tom and 27 Gan. So it wasn't like a first round that was like, oh, okay, Tom is losing and that's it. No, of course not. Like, it would continue. It wouldn't end up necessarily in the first round, but it would definitely go 2-3, maybe entire fight. Okay, guys, but you know what? I'm thirsty and I need to drink something, so I'm gonna switch to my gimbal now. Just gonna get up this, take out the setup. Just 1 second. I just do it. Okay, here we go. So this is usually the thing. It's very worn off because I'm using it for a couple of years now. I'm gonna put my phone here and yeah, basically we will do a little bit of walking and gonna go get some. Okay. Okay, apologies, this thing just apparently died. So yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna carry it in my hand. Beaches for training, not pleasure. Nature, any nature is the pleasure for the soul. Okay, so good for training as well, sure, but you're gonna be way healthier long term as the person and even as an athlete if you just go out and have a walks. Not all the trainings have to be heavy and hard. Okay, let me just put this like this for a second. So I'm disassembling the setup. Put this back to my backpack. And we're gonna move to the coffee shop that I really do like. I read some books there and get some coffee, and they always refill my water. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's see. Okay, so last comments before I leave the beach. The beach looks absolutely stunning, thank you. Okay, is Islam running through GDM? Absolutely possible. When I say 50-50, it doesn't mean that I don't get, like, it's a math, right? Meaning that both can, it can go either way, but there's very high chances that Islam wins. Absolutely. No, OnlyFans. I don't have OnlyFans, and well, I'm not going to time you out or can ban you from the channel. It was, I guess, now guys ask it as a natural question, but that's the thing. It's actually quite disrespectful, and it's sad that we're living in a world that became a normal thing. Oh, do you have OnlyFans? And women are like, yeah, I have. You can go and check out my content. Like, no, I'm married, and even if I wasn't married, never ever I would do OnlyFans. I'd rather do it slow. I would rather do, get followers and social media income slowly in a longer time, rather than do that shortcut and ruin my dignity, my reputation. And reputation is something that I really care for, and I care because I build it up myself, right? I do everything for it, and it's not only my reputation. It's not only for me. That's for my husband, for my future children. It is something that I really care for. So no OnlyFans. Okay, I need to drink water, guys. So now let me show you how we cross roads in Vietnam. So it's not crazy in this part, but you gotta just start moving slowly. Like this. Yeah, just be careful with, sometimes, yeah, cars can be quite crazy too. And just walk slowly. Usually they just drive around you. But yeah. All right, here I am. Respect above all, yes. And as much there is a basic decency, like you give basic respect to everyone, even if they're like a prostitute or someone, you just give a basic decent, like, human respect. But like a real respect is earned, okay? A real respect is always earned, guys. You gotta work for it hard, both for men and women. Oh, hello. Oh, sorry. Окей, привет. Можно мне, пожалуйста, воды в первую очередь, и я выпью, наверное, опять сок морковно-яблочный. Да, сейчас вспомню. Окей. One second. Trying to. Все, спасибо. Oops. You come here, you take any book, you order coffee, food, some pastry, they have some desserts, and just chill. So yeah, basically. Let me just get into. Let me see if that works. This is usually the corner I pick. This is like my little cave. But now I don't want to be very loud. And I want to have a good light. So I think I'm gonna go here. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna go here. So this looks like I think that looks okay. Or even better, I think I'm gonna move. It's always hard when you try to set up a good light thing. Should I even go outside? You know what? I'll go outside, okay? Yeah. I will go outside. Oh. Sorry. Okay, that is the perfect setup. Yeah. This is the best. I usually don't sit outside because it's a little bit hotter here, but it's all right. Okay, now let me reset, put everything in its place now. Just one second, guys. Actually, that's okay. Yeah. Sorry, can you bring me water?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, that should be good. Almost done. And here we are. Okay, that works. It might be a little bit loud in the moments, but I'm trying to keep the microphone close to me so you can hear my sound better. Yeah, my husband in the chat, by the way, and yeah, he's just saying why we're against OnlyFans. Oh, thank you. I forgot my glasses. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, respect. You gotta, if you want the real respect, you gotta earn it. Both men, women, children, elderly, it doesn't matter who you are. It goes for everyone. Glad you're safe, Diana. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you guys are safe too. Good rest of streaming to everyone. I appreciate it. Many people lack respect in this YouTube chat. You know, it's fine because I think you gotta stand your ground. You gotta keep setting your tone, and you know, some people who are just you know, uncontrollably trolling and you know, just being like basically morons, we're gonna kick them out. You know, there's nothing you can do with that. But there've been people who've been, even they maybe came for the purpose of trolling in a live stream, but then because they saw the chat dynamic, they saw the things I show and I'm talking about, and we guys, like we all are talking about, they actually see that this is real, and this is how you get you know, that you cause the feeling of respect in others towards you. Same as other people, you know, whenever people engage in the chat, and yeah, some people are funny, some people troll, this and that. It's all engagement. It's actually good for my traffic. But there are certain people who say smart, interesting things, and even though I don't know them, I don't know how they look, just reading their name and icon, I'm like, I'm starting gaining that respect towards them, you know, like feeling with that respect towards them. So this is how you do it. You cannot force others to respect you, but you can make them feel that respect towards you. I'm married and I'm from Georgia. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Meditation of death every day is very helpful to, in being a warrior. Oh, interesting. It's a warrior's path mentality. But there are many meditation. There are many approaches and many spiritual practices. And it's interesting enough. I actually was thinking to make a short video about it. Why is that sometimes just training, just a good sleep, all of those kind of things, there's still a lacking piece of puzzle? Like, why is that, right? When you start feeling, doing everything right, and you feel good, because even take any religion, philosophy, spiritual teachings, they always tell you to start taking care of your body. So your body, in Hindu chakras, like you have the first chakra, which is very closely rooted with your body health and your, you know, body function, training, sleep, all that kind of stuff. But that's the thing, you need to have a system of belief. You need to have, rather, you know, be a believer, Christian, Hindu, this and that. I do believe it's better to have a personalized, like when you build up your own system, belief system, when you start learning about different philosophies, religions, teachings, and you find those pieces of inherent truth, and you create a purpose, you create a goal. So then that piece of puzzle, finally you get it, you find it, and you put it into the picture. Because there are very commonly people say, yeah, I train, I sleep, I recover, but it still feels like I don't have a goal, I don't have a purpose. Well, that's the thing. You need to have a faith, belief in something to have that ultimate goal that's gonna last maybe even beyond your life on earth. So it's just about creating that, readjust towards that way of thinking. So I was thinking about that today to maybe make a video about it. Tattoo, it's a warrior style tattoo. So dragon, I'm actually, according to Chinese calendar, I'm an Iron Dragon, year 2000. Cool when I discovered it's like Iron Dragon. But yeah, I got the dragon, a female profile. So it's like a same, it's the same entity, just in the two forms, and the bloody katana, because my tattoo masters thought it would look cool. Or your chest tattoo. It is, I can try to show you like this. So it is a sword and it's a rose. So it's like a Lionheart, Braveheart theme. But the reference, the biggest reference to that tattoo was the Dropkick Murphys, Irish people, if you're here, anyone. Dropkick Murphys Rose Tattoo song. I love that song. That song motivates me so much. I don't know why. So yeah, that's why I got it. It was a few years ago. It was actually 4 or 5 years ago now. Hey Boxer Linus, yesterday was a nice drill. If you would give us some advice, which combos and footwork drills to start with for strong basics. Oh, that's well, you know what? Because I already had intensive training yesterday, so today I'm supposed to go live. I'm gonna do the boxing basics live stream again, so we can go step by step. So stay tuned. It's gonna be in a few hours, like a little bit later in the evening time for me. So yeah, let me just do that for you, and we can go through together all the basics. For me, it's also always good to remember all those basics, so I wouldn't mind to do that. Okay. When are you coming to Colombia? Well, whenever the goals and the life brings us there. Some of the best friends were Russians guys. I worked with a fishing boat in the early 2000s. I mean, that's crazy. That's basically when I was a baby. My husband also calls me from the future. He's quite older than me, but yeah, what can I do? I was born in year 2000, but I like older music, all of the music and all of the stuff pretty much I do like. Not everything, obviously. There are like things that I appreciate from the modern world as well, but especially in music, everything comes from the times when I was not even born. So I don't know, maybe to call the old soul. I feel like that since I was 12, 15. Obviously I grew up, I evolved, I matured, I becoming wiser in the things, but it just feels natural to me. And sometimes when I look around people my age and even slightly older and their problems and the things that they make problems out, I don't really relate to that. Armpit tattoo. Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. Hi to everyone. I tried the boxing combo you showed us last night. This life is so good. Thanks a lot. I'm glad to hear that. It's one of the biggest joys. Sorry, I gotta drink the water. one of the biggest joys that I experience is usually when people actually tell me that whatever I teach them and show, it actually works for them. So I'm very glad to hear that. Hi from Canada, hi Canada, Brazil, then India, Russia. I mean, all around the world. That's awesome. I still do like chicken. Everyone likes chicken. Dimitri and Igor were good friends. It's like so Slavic, Russian, Ukrainian, like that kind of like Balkan names, that's for sure. Told me all about Russia in their opinions and their words. We will die on the spot for mother. Wow. Will die for a sport for mother, you mean their mother. Like Georgians have a similar thing regarding mother. Ironically, sometimes it goes very toxic in a way that it's not like mother being worshipped. I mean, they still can yell and scream at their mothers, or like their fathers can mistreat them. But kind of, if someone else says something about their mother, they're gonna just go after them and that kind of stuff. But yeah, there are definitely some pros and cons of that part of the world. I'm from Georgia. I'm literally bordering, and it's of course post-Soviet space, so I can relate with some of the stuff. And I also can tell you from my perspective what are positives and negatives of those countries. Oh, привет из Новой Зеландии. It's New Zealand. Okay, again, another far part of the world. It's not that far now from Vietnam here, but yeah, it's one of the dream places. Would love to visit New Zealand at some point. Let's say you have a match with the stamp Muay Thai best girl. What strategy comes if you just picture that your instinct tells? I mean, she's great, super scary when it comes to the fighting. And that's the thing. I mean, Muay Thai, she will destroy me. No matter what strategy I come up, she'll destroy me. If that was MMA, again, I hate leg kicks, but I know how to wrestle and grapple a little bit. So I would try to put her on the ground and be on the top and try to have a control time. And that's what I would try to do, to avoid any kicks and that kind of stuff, you know? In the boxing, well, that's a little bit different. She's tough. I've seen, like, her hand punches are quite crazy, super tough, super strong. But in the boxing, that's the thing. In boxing, I know how to avoid those things, and I think we're pretty much a similar size too. So that could give me an opportunity to do a lot of counter boxing, counter punching as well. So when it comes to boxing, it's basically just wearing her off, because when you have loaded in Muay Thai, they're used to throwing loaded punches, and they're quite good at it. They can do that for extended amount of time. But it's a little bit different when you do when you have a balance between arms and legs. Because you notice sometimes they just go legs, they just throw one, because they let their arms rest, then they go and let their legs rest. So the combinations go, the power and the energy distributed between the entire body and balanced. When in boxing, like you have a lot of punches. So at some point, if you just are super wired, you get tired quickly, and that's what you want from them. You want to reflect. You just want, you get a couple punches in your head, but it's fine. You jab them. You find their weak spots, the openings where they are, and then try to get there, and then continue from. Obviously, switch angles. In Muay Thai, I think boxers are way better at cutting angles in a very efficient way because, well, they don't have to do leg kicks, they don't have to do any of that. So in boxing, that maybe I could have some chances. Maybe, I don't know. I'm keep scrolling up, guys. I appreciate you being here. Either green eyes, it's Hazel, I think. And another Becky Lynch comparison, yes. Yeah, the Hazel. I'm keep scrolling up. Do you Tinder beautiful? No, I'm married. USA, but married a girl from Georgia. You mean you married a girl from Georgia, the country? Well, tell us more. How is it to live with a Georgian woman? Is numbers a GDM 50-50? Do you like men? Do you mean if I respect men, I like men, I think men are backbone of the society, the infrastructure. Men, without men, everything would fall apart. So yeah, and I would definitely like my husband. Can we learn boxing and MMA without YouTube, without sparring, just normal, not competition? Obviously, you can learn the technique, the skill. You can even learn how to work on the back. But if you really want to have a better understanding how it works, do a little bit of sparring. But as the amateur, as the person who does not plan to compete, you can do a shoulder stomach sparring, so you don't have to even go to your head. But it's all the matter of communicating to your coach, communicating your sparring partner, and people you spar with. Usually, like that kind of groups, that kind of people do light sparrings, and more that becomes the thing that people don't destroy each other and they go light. In Thailand, in the Muay Thai, for example, they do super light sparrings, and that's the way how you learn. It helps you to get into the rhythm. And yeah, I still recommend to do light technical sparrings. Yeah, again, the leg kicks, as I said, in the Muay Thai, no way I'm winning. And the MMA, as I said, I actually know how to wrestle a little bit. So I will just take the opportunity. Every time she throws legs, I will take the opportunity to put her on the ground and just have a control time and, just try to. I mean, I'm not as good to maybe go for submission, but depends on her level. Maybe I could if she doesn't know how to wrestle at all. But because I don't remember if Stan knows how to do it. I haven't seen her wrestling. In the boxing, could be interesting. I never say in advance, oh yeah, I'll like beat someone's ass. I mean, I gotta try and see, Boxers are my favorite dog breed. Boxers are cool. Then I don't want to, I don't know why you don't want to get into MMA. Well, it's not that simple. It's not that easy, guys. You gotta train for it. Then actually need to start training for it. Well, let's say that way. At least in the beginning, I want to see how I do in the boxing. I want to test my upper striking, and then we shall see. You never know how it works. Maybe I never do a fighting MMA, but maybe one day I end up doing the commentary and interviews there. You never know, right? So those things is easily manageable and readjustable if needed. But right now I don't have any plan because I will have to commit at least 2 years to do proper rest. And unfortunately, BJJ super high in the injuries, even on the trainings. Kicks easy to, not break necessarily your shins, but damage your shins, so you will have to recover. That's why I'm taking it. It takes a prolonged amount of time if you want to go mixed martial arts, especially at my age. It's different when you raise kids for them to be ready like that. Aren't you afraid that you might ruin your face with punches you take? Well, I'm learning how to take less and less punches. So gloves, as much they more protect your nose and your fist, like from the really, really breaking. So boxing gloves are well designed for that. It doesn't necessarily protect your brain from punches, right? So that's another big reason why you wouldn't want to get hit all the time in your head. But that's the beauty of the boxing. Boxing, like you have a super technical boxer like Mayweather, who basically barely been punched in his career. Yeah, he obviously got some hits, but not nearly as some of the boxers like Arturo Gatti, for example, right? So the defense, boxing defense, is something that you should commit to a lot, and I'm doing that. I'm doing a lot. Like, I'm not dropping my hands like this. I'm trying to keep my hands up, but not like just up like this. Use them from this position in an efficient way when I do the angle cut. So it's way safer when you do angle cutting, and instead of getting bumped on the punch, if you're bumped here, it's way better rather than if you go and get the clear punch. So your hands provide a lot of the defense, and this is why I love boxing. My intention, I'm not really much of the brawler to the point that, oh, I just like, I want to fight. Not really. To me, it's more like a chess play. I'm more delicate when it comes. To me, boxing is, it's super hard, but it's a delicate sport. So this is how I look at it. And you have different style of boxers as well. You can see some of them are all about being warrior, getting bleeding, get punches. Sometimes they even provoke. Oh yeah, punch me, punch me. That's not me. Okay, I'm keep scrolling up. Ilya can survive what? Lightweight. Well, he's fighting with Pimblet soon, so you should marry Ilya. He's single now and get him away to the UFC easy. Well, no, thanks. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm keep scrolling up, guys. Hi, everyone. Hi. There's a weird people here. This lady could literally bust you. No interest. It's fine. We're just joking. It's obviously it's easier to joke behind the screen, but I'm not that scary in and off the screen. Like, I'm quite a small lady. Though my husband is super big, and I taught him how to throw punches and kicks. So, and it's kind of normal. We always are less hesitant in the social media, saying stuff, expressing ourselves. But again, there's just all it encourages the respect. Don't cross the lines on certain things. Otherwise, we can joke together, laugh together, ask real questions, talk about things, and it's all good. So how I started to learn my self-protective move. Well, that sounds interesting. Self-protective move. You don't have one move when you do martial arts or self-defense the system. You have many, right? But it's also depend. Yeah, it's like it's just a funny way to put it. Okay, I'm all the way up. Ilya versus Paddy, not Arman. Well, Arman is fighting with Hooker, and well, he had to fight someone before getting a title shot. Like, the guy bailed on a title shot. He's been inactive for hell knows for how long, and bails on the title rematch with the Islam because of broken back. And that was all BS. I think I like, personality-wise, what I listened to from Arman. I don't really like his personality that much. I actually, as much as Pimblet had said some stupid stuff about Georgia, and he also says some nonsense, I still prefer Paddy. So I think Paddy, a star boy versus Ilya, it's quite an interesting fight for a lot of people. I think Ilya wins, and then Arman is going to be one of the, rather Gage or Arman. Gage was supposed to fight Ilya, but I think for Paramount they tried to make the fight as entertaining as possible. So I think the demand on Ilya versus Paddy and Ilya versus Arman is higher than Ilya versus Gage, for example. So we shall see that as well. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you too, guys. What's going on? Just a random live stream. Hi to all of you guys. Yeah, I do believe that Islam basically ran away from Arman. Or there's some speculations that they got like they agreed, they did, illegal agreement between, so Arman would bail, he probably got paid, and Islam just went up. But that's a little bit way too much like a conspiracy. I don't think there is any evidence towards that. It's just Arman decided to bail the last day, and he just got punished for it. You don't get another title shot straight away without, after bailing on your rematch title shot. So yeah, it's fair. He's fighting Dan Hooker first, so far as I know, and then probably Ilya wins with Patty, and then these two gonna fight. Gideon versus Islam, 50-50 to me. You're jealous Patty has a better haircut. I love Georgia, but Arman is trouble for Ilya. Well, it depends what you call trouble. I said myself, Arman is probably the hardest contender for Ilya. But so was Umar for Merab. Being hardest contender comparing to other contenders and actually being good enough to win is two different things. Arman is definitely a great fighter, but certain things that, like if you look at his portfolio, I don't think he wins with Ilya. I really don't. And sometimes people say, oh, he's bigger. Well, Ilya, a lot of fights, most of the fights, Ilya fighting the bigger opponents, and doesn't stop him. So yeah, I still bet on Ilya. And as a Georgian, I also hope that Ilya wins. What is the best move for you to attack your enemy with the use of the uppercut? I mean, enemy or the opponent? They're two different things. Opponent, it's within sport. Enemy is, I don't know, on the battlefield. Use of the uppercut. Well, as I said, for me, I said it previously in this live stream, closer range makes way more sense when I go find the gap, you can go uppercut, right uppercut, and left hook, and boom, boom. So it's goes like this and then like this. So it is a good combo for potentially knock the person out too, because it just hits the most vulnerable angles of the face. Okay, there's someone just saying some nonsense. I'm timing out to you guys. Okay. Super beautiful content, bringing brilliance, superbly making educational skillfully teacher. Thank you, I appreciate it. I feel myself as a teacher at heart. I've been teaching amateurs, I've been teaching kids. Maybe in the future, you never know, we'll teach some other fighters and other boxers, and help them to grow and become champions. You never know. But I do feel myself as a teacher more as necessarily a fighter. But even at this point, I'm kind of self-coaching myself, meaning that it's not, oh, that's the only me, I know the best. Obviously, I'm gonna get some help from other coaches too, because you always need an outside perspective, you always need some guidance, you always need certain things that you don't see as others to point that out, a path holder, right, that kind of stuff. But when I say coaching myself, meaning that I watch fights, I analyze things, I start putting the sense into it, why this combination or why this move works, in which situation it works, in which it doesn't, what is a countering style of this style. And it's just a cool brain work. It's almost like a chess game, right? It's a strategy, the training itself, the attitude, the approach, that approach on its own is the pure form of the strategy building, right? So this is something that just brings me joy and excitement, and I'm willing to do it. At this point, it's just me doing it to myself and sharing it on YouTube and giving some tips to others. And well, fortunately, and I'm very happy about it, a lot of people already said that the certain tips I gave them helped them in their training. and just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep showing what I'm doing and keep growing my platform. Okay, keep scrolling up. Ilya beats Arman at the stand-up, but what if it goes to Joe? Who has the advantage here? Well, that's hard to say. Ilya, all we know is that Ilya is actually, his first background is wrestling, and he's black belt in BJJ, like a legit black belt. But we never seen Ilya really using his stuff because he doesn't necessarily, it's not like he relies on striking if he cannot do anything on the ground. No, I think Ilya is super strong on the ground, and well, if he's gonna have to be on the ground, he has as many chances as Arman at the very least. A little bit like Scarlett Johansson, your eyes. Maybe a little bit. People tell me that sometimes. Okay. I keep scrolling up, guys, reading through the comments. I'm on the way on the top. Best fighter, IQ, and MMA in your opinion? Demetrius Johnson, John Jones, like it or not, but John Jones, obviously he also, that includes a dirty playing on his side, but I think Anderson Silva, BG Penn, the guy just never trained enough. Oh man, if he trained, if he did, probably one of the best IQ prodigies out there, and just sad how he ended up. Yeah, like those. I mean, GSP can be, but GSP is also was heavily relying, not like he had the skill and IQ and everything, but he also developed super physicality. Like he's been doing calisthenics, gymnast training, like a lot of crazy stuff, super athleticism. So I still can put GSP in that. Who was prominent? Like I really do like Roy Nelson, and a lot of people don't know that he's like the. I also learned about him, especially. Я сама забыла тоже. Learned about him as the history of the UFC. But the guy definitely was knocking the shit out of his opponents, and he was not even looking like an athlete. So definitely he had that pressure and a super good timing. Okay, your skin is smooth for a fighter. It's a good light, and a lot of fighters have a good skin. Well, male have a rougher skin, right? Female, there are a lot of girls that have a good skin. They might be a little bit older than me, some of them that you know. That's why. Also, a little bit gray area. But if some of the fighters, when they cycle in, cycle out, and especially on women, that can rough up the skin as well. So they're a combination of the factors. Right now, it's also good lighting, and yeah. And I have not fought, for example, like I haven't like I had a fight recently, for example, to be bruised up and stuff like that. And I pay a lot of attention to recovery. Both Arman and Ilya are a good fighter, but I think Ilya wins. Yeah, I think Ilya wins too. Is there a mole on your forehead? Well, thanks for noticing. Yes, it is. I have that one since I was a kid. Israel Adesanya, yeah. Well, both Alex and Israel you can put. Yeah, I think like if you take Israel Adesanya, the reason why I'm not saying the best MMA, like the IQ in the UFC, because his grappling is not that strong, and I think it has to consist like I think Volkanovski has a very good fighting IQ. And that's one of the reasons why, despite him being already kind of getting in that age, he reclaimed his featherweight title. He's doing great. Adesanya as a striker, definitely. both Pereira and Adesanya has quite a solid fighting IQ, good timing, good distance control. So, but not like they're not that well rounded. I mean, they're super strong on in the stance, but not in the ground. Good card with I don't know, GDM Islam. I don't really know. Can go either way to me. And on the Valentina versus Bailey, I would still go for Valentina. Okay, let's see. Let's keep it. Let's have Demetrius Johnson, the number one, DC. Sorry, DJ. What do you think about Amanda Nunes? One of the best female MMA, UFC and MMA fighters of all time. She was super great. Let's see what she does against the Kyla. I think it's going to be the White House card. Привет, дочка. Привет, mama. It's my mom is in the chat. Everyone say hi to my mom. She wrote in the Russian. It's a be beauty experience. So that's my mom. So say hi to her, guys. I would hate to see you bruise, but you would fight 100% on the Street Fighter movie. Well, maybe one day. You never know. What about Hamzat Chimaev? Super strong, best UFC, best wrestling in the UFC, like the opposite of the Adesanya and Pereira, for example. The best, arguably one of the best or the best wrestling in the UFC. Yeah, Makachev, Udu, Ilir versus Makachev. Yeah, I think they're preparing us for that. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. How is dirty boxing different from traditional boxing? What do you mean dirty boxing? What, like head bumps, sleeping elbows? Because sometimes when they kind of throw the hook, they can sleep elbow. The back, the head kicks, but like in the back of your head, holding on the clinch, like that kind of stuff. Oh, it exhausts you. Head bumps can open your eyebrows like wide open, and the problem is in boxing, if they cannot stop, if it's too open, if they cannot stop it or stitch it up to a certain extent, you might lose the fight just because of that illegal move. So yeah, there is a big difference. Mark Hunt, that's old school. This is Vietnam, not Trang, guys. So you put DJ over Jones. Yeah, I'll put DJ over Jones because he was not a dirty fighter, and Jones, part of his IQ was like he was intentionally poking eyes. Actually, he even said that oh, it's illegal, but I still do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll put Demetrius Johnson. Привет, mama. Chris always greets my mom like this. Привет, mama. Do you have Adam's apple? Is it a little bit, but I'm joking. I'm just cutting down a little bit, and sometimes it gets shredded, you know. But the man changed UFC rules forever with the greatness. What do you mean? I didn't get that one. Ooh. Prime Jorge Masvidal versus Prime GSP. Who wins? So, well, Masvidal is unexpected. On the Masvidal, I always, from coming back from the journeyman to a top, it's like when he this tiny the Ben Askren. So Masvidal is a very unexpected person, and definitely tough. Like he's one of the mentally very tough mentally among the fighters. But I still would go for GSP. What do they use to heal cuts at the end of the round in the boxing match? Well, they try to. I actually not sure what they're exactly using. They're trying to stop the bleeding, so probably they're putting. There are certain things that can stop the bleeding. Obviously, they wipe it off and stuff, depending how bad it is. But there probably are certain regulations. There are certain things you're not allowed to do, obviously, between rounds. And unfortunately, just at some point, there are moments you can't do anything. If there's super big cut. And that usually is not caused by the punches, it's caused by a head bump. One head bump is enough to cause that massive cut. Yeah, because of team 2-6 elbow. Oh yeah, that's what you mean. Gotcha. Yeah, because of the Jones. There'd be some changes. Oblique kicks and side kicks to knees. Yeah, I mean, obviously you gotta have that super IQ to do those things, but then it's just you realize, okay, that's such a big advantage against everyone else that it almost makes it dirty, right? So you gotta prevent and there is also not only the move that works in the practice. There are certain moves that you do that damages your opponents for a longer term or even permanently, right? So this is the goal of any mixed martial art organization, and UFC specifically. They want to prevent that from happening. Obviously, injuries happen, but injuries that you get because through those illegal moves, and that it takes a long time for recovery. That is damaging for the organization because they want their fighters, especially top tier fighters, to recover and be ready soon. I'm relaxed. I'm actually enjoying myself, that's a carrot slash apple juice. Is that the sword tattoo? I'll show you the whole tattoo. It's a sword and the rose, and the reference is the Dropkick Murphys Rose Tattoo song. This is why I got this one. I just love this song. One of my favorite songs of all time. But remember how the sport started? It was like a warrior sport. So he's the embodiment of it. Well, Jones, not that much. I'll tell you who was. If you Mark Coleman, Krokop, Emelianenko, Sakuraba, Gracie's. Then you have Don Fry, Takayama. Like those guys were like, Don Fry would take the painkillers just to get numb himself out and like do the fight and be a real man. That was insane, right? That the pioneer generation is when it comes to that, like really having a war in the octagon or a ring. It was different. I admit that it was different, but it's also, I mean, if you want to make mixed martial arts, not from the point of just some initiative to an actual sport, unfortunately, you have to make sure and regulate it the way that people don't sustain long-term critical injuries. You know what I mean? So that's why it is evolving towards that direction. And some people dislike it, but to me, I'm more concerned about the athlete's health. So to me, I rather have those rules, have it a certain way, where the fighters can shine, they can do their best, and like show all their potential, but also be able to do that consistently. Jones versus Belfort. Jones. What about the Machida fight that was Warrior Spirit? I don't remember it. I haven't seen it. I gotta watch that one because since I was born in 2000, a lot of the past is it's like a history for me, right? So I'm rewatching or watching first for the first time some of the fights that happened way before I was born. When is your birthday? It's the 6th of May. Yeah, that's when my birthday is. These are Georgian Queen. Thank you, Georgian Queen. Yeah, I think you should check those fights. Yeah, I'll look into it. Thank you for all the positives, guys. You're writing in chat. I appreciate it. But also for new people, newcomers, just letting you know, I'm married and my husband is on and off in the chat as a moderator as well. So he might introduce himself in the chat. That's a lovely tattoo. Yeah, I have few. What's your name? My name is Diana. Is that a natural hair? No, it's not. It still have not grown, but you can see a little bit. You see, it's like a more ash light. I'm not like a blonde, but like I could pull up blonde. Like my hair basically absorbs any type of hair color, like anything. So I just put the dye on my hair and it becomes like this type of ginger and looks quite natural and I love it. Fight like a Tyson, strongest as an elephant, face enemy like a lion. Can you show the tattoo or your right on your right hand, please? By the way, this is a left hand. Okay, so this is for some reason a YouTube live screen that just flips it. So try to memorize, guys. My tattoo arm is my left arm. So because whenever you see it, you know that when seems like I'm standing in the southpaw, I'm actually standing in the orthodox sense. So yeah, this is a dragon, a female face. So it's like the same entity in different forms, and bloody katana. I'm the same age as you, but I guess I was into MMA from a young age. Yeah, I think I started watching it when I was 15, when I went to karate and I was introduced to the martial arts first time. I was basically a teenager, right? I was not raised in an athlete family. It's not like I was put through all of it since I was childhood. I was doing other stuff actually, like Georgian national dancing. I was doing art in the art school, a little bit of music and a little bit of guitar playing, like that kind of stuff, you know. And then I wanted to get physically stronger, so I started training, then went to karate, and this is where it was the McGregor Ronda Rousey era when I was like, wow, and I was fan of both. And then since then I've been watching on and off. There have been periods when I just have not followed up a long time, but you know, then I always go back to it, rewatch it, fill the gap, and at this point I'm being quite active following what is going on in the mixed martial art world, and also boxing, those two. I'm from Georgia, same country as Mirab and Ilya. Hello to your husband, all respect to him, all the best for you both. I appreciate it. Same wishes to you as well. I need a couple combinations for my fight in November 18. I did a couple from your videos and they work. Okay, well, I'm gonna, today I'll try to do the boxing basics, and if you join that live stream, let's try to figure out what else might work for you. I will ask you more questions about what is your body type, style, stance, all the kind of stuff, and we will look into it. And also, if you, especially if you know the opponents that you're meeting, if you've seen, even better if you've seen their fights or your coach have seen their fights, what is their style, so we know what you have to face on November 18th. And yeah, so we can do that today. So join for the live stream in the evening. Oh yeah, Wanderlei Silva versus Rampage, craziest face-off. Yeah, that was old times, crazy times. Silva Krokop was also crazy, and Emelianenko Krokop was also super dope. Oh, someone is from Spain here. I to you too. Okay, please don't spam. Stop. Before I time you out, guys, if you're spam, even if it's a nice thing to say, don't spam, please, because I have a rule. I'm going to time you out for 10 minutes. Second time, just going to ban me from the channel, even though you're being nice. And that's why I'm telling you, because I don't want to do that. Yeah, Kazushi Sakuraba. Yeah, I know. I first time I learned about him when I was watching the Gracie's versus Sakuraba or Gracie Killer French arc. That was quite interesting, and interesting rules. You know, it was like this individual rules, like a unlimited time, and every round was like a 15 minutes, and how the pacing was different, right? And watching now from the modern perspective, like Hoyce Gracie, for example, great BJJ artist, but not good striking at all. Like he would just be eaten alive nowadays by a solid striker and good grappler. So also seeing how much it evolved. But it was also, there was something more entertaining about those older fights. Howdy, oh, howdy Kyla, how are you? Glad to see you here. Islam will be GOAT if he wins. Oh, absolutely he will. And I actually like Islam quite a lot. Islam, I always say, out of the Dagestani fighters, Islam is my favorite. He seems funny, quite humble, down to earth, worked his ways up. Like there are not that many questions about him, because like he actually faced tough opponents, and well, he's now went up in the weight class. Let's see how he does there. Super well-rounded fighter, brilliant groundwork and wrestling, super good striking as well. So yeah, I mean, if he pulls that off, then that's gonna be crazy. And I think Ilya versus Islam gonna happen despite if he wins or loses. Because if he loses, he's gonna have to go back to lightweight and have the lightweight bout with Ilya probably. If he wins, he's in the welterweight, maybe, but Ilya still has to fight other contenders first in the lightweight before going up on the welterweight. Though I think welterweight might be tougher for Ilya, because like Ilya versus Islam in 155 and 175 it makes a little bit of a difference. I respect your knowledge, even though you are more grounded in boxing. I appreciate it. I'm enthusiastic, you know, like even though like boxing is my favorite combat sport to practice, right? But it also gives me understanding, even though I might not practice that much of the kicks and stuff, I know how to do them. I actually practice, I did karate, right? So I know how all the leg kicks, the tipping, the roundhouse, the spinning back kick, I know how to do them technically. So I can teach them, I can show them. It's just not something that I practice at this moment. And the less you practice it, the less you are competitive in that specific thing, right? With the wrestling, I understand the wrestling idea. Again, I cannot break down the wrestling or BJJ in the like a technical level like I do with boxing, because I'm not that qualified in it. But what I can do is within the MMA specifically, I can tell you the timing when or how or why is it better to for in specific with a specific fighter to go on the ground and at the very least have a ground control time. So that kind of stuff, and we're just talking, and I also learning myself from other people when talking to them. Yeah, Sakuraba was a monster in his prime. Yeah, he was. Like Merab exposed them, I like them, but Merab had a point. Well, yeah, I mean, he had the point. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like Islam, because Islam to me is actually the one who actually crowing for himself. And he's not a Nurmagomedov or just like, he's Islam Makhachev and he's doing his thing, right? But Merab really did. Like, it was the biggest satisfaction after what Omar was saying. He was downgrading Merab. I was like, yeah, I don't see him how he will win. Well, stamina wins. Merab shows the best, in the best way that endurance is the first. You can have the most beautiful technique. You can have amazing fighting IQ, but if you gas out very soon, there's not going to be much use of it. Actually, I commented a couple of shorts from your YouTube, so much appreciate. I'll be watching. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you're welcome, and thanks for watching as well. Where are you from? From same country as Merab and Ilya, from Georgia. I wish Ilya was as humble as Merab in the internet. Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree. That's why I would still put Merab for me as personal favorite. Fighting-wise, I'm so fascinated how Ilya fights, and so far he's been proving. But as I said, no one proves as much as Merab does. Merab is doing fourth title defense. He's evolving from the fight to fight. If you see his fight like 4 fights ago, he was not as good. Now he's like he has evolved so much, even technically. And now he has those attempts. He tries to go for submissions. He tries to go for the knockout. He could knock out Corey Sandhagen. It's just, I mean, Corey is a tough guy, and obviously he survived and didn't let that happen. But Merab's performance is getting better and better, and his consistency is super refreshing. So, like, I would love for Ilya to do the same. It doesn't have to be that often as Merab. It also can be a little bit too much for the health. But at the same time, we all like a quiet warriors with the aura more than, or positive warriors who are just, come, they do their thing, they leave extraordinary results, and then they are like, just nice and humble and welcoming. Those people are always more likable than super arrogant, because when you're super arrogant, even if you prove all of it, people want you to fall. People want you to fall more just because they dislike you, because they have a feeling that you think that you're more than them with your behavior. You know what I mean? Yeah, I wish him all the best too when it comes to that. I mean, it's divorce and all that kind of stuff is never fun, and I don't know what's the reason, but it wasn't a good timing. Though, considering Ilya's personality, he actually might use as his strengths. It might fuel his anger, and we might get an evolved, even crazier version of Ilya. We shall see. Where do you rank Mike Tyson in all-time heavyweights? I'll put it number 1 to myself, but generally speaking, at least top 5, at least. Hi Chris, I'm so happy I caught you live. I've been staying super busy. We just wrapped up the last hockey game, so starting to wind down now. Oh, okay, and it's always getting slow on the winter, so it's November, December. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's coming, so that is well, good for you. I hope you're gonna have a chance to rest a little bit, chill down, and recoup. You married? Yes, I'm married, and my husband is in chat. Were you able to work the links to get work? The live stream chat was still giving problems. The guy, the Ross that we connected with, he's still looking into it, and he said he'll continue to look for the solutions because we tried other stuff. But also, I think I'm going to keep focusing on YouTube. I'm not going to do that on the YouTube's expense anymore because that's my biggest platform. And even if we don't come up with the solution of the multi-streaming, I'll still keep doing YouTube on the certain days, maybe do multi-streaming on Twitch and keep it in a horizontal format and try that. But this platform is growing efficiently, focusing more on short and the long-form quality content. Mostly, guys, I'm going to do more like a teaching, breaking down certain techniques and certain elements and movements. So I'm just going to try to focus on those things at this point and hopefully to come up with a multi-streaming solution as well. If not, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I have like a knife and the rose, so it's like it's a reference to Dropkick Murphy's Rose Tattoo song. How do you feel about the things Mirab was saying about the Dagestans and the claiming Russia? Well, they cannot say otherwise. You have no idea how horrible the dictatorship is in Russia when it comes owning other country or land, even like regarding this war. For example, if a Russian goes and says something against the like Russians doing that war, even trying to say anything against it, they might come for you, like legally. I mean, there is in Russia, the constitution, Vladimir Putin has it adapted to his own wishes, to his own ruling. There is no constitution, unfortunately, in Russia working anymore. And the point is that it's not that easy. Like, I understand Dagestan is being hesitant because they might not really, they might wish to be independent, officially independent country, same as Georgia, for example. Chechens suffered 2 wars. And essentially they became part of the Russia, and then now they have Kadyrov, which is like just horrible person. But they can't say anything because you can be taken care of, and if not you, your family members. That's why Hamzat Chimaev, that's why Dagestani fighters, they have to say that. Not even only for themselves, their family's sake. That's quite frustrating, actually, but it is what it is. And that's one of the reasons why Georgia is so super anti-Russian government and anti-Russian influence when it comes to the politics. We still remember their attempts to erase our language, erase our churches, erase our identity, even surnames, like I'm Kavinikadze or Merab Dvalishvili, right? They would try to Russianize those surnames, and it would become Dvalov or Kvinikova. You know what I mean? Like, Russian has a very bad. Unfortunately, the current government are following on those same Soviet approaches. They're not just, okay, let's do trading, let me just do the influence in the region, and that's it. No, they try to erase your culture. They try to erase your language, and this is why Georgians are very, very anti-Russia. Keep scrolling up, guys. They were shooting in film. Okay, I'm scrolling up. Well, don't listen to anyone who is making fun of you because of training, guys. Oh, is that bad in Russia? Yeah, I mean, at least that. You might live easy if you don't say anything about politics, but if you actually say about those things, that you're against the war, or you don't want, you want to be an independent. If Dagestanis say they want to be an independent country, that might end bad for the person who says that. You know what I mean? Is there a good relationship between Georgia and Russia? As I said, no. Not like we hate necessarily all the people and stuff. It's more about the politics. It's all about more military. We have 2 wars with Russia, and the same principle as Ukraine, the separatism. They try to create the narrative in those regions where they have a lot of Russians. And that was during Soviet Union, and they, in the past, when the Soviet Union fell, they used the fact that there were a lot of Russians in Abkhazia, in the valley, or they also moved some people from the other regions to put them. They kind of made Georgians as a bad guys, like, oh, we are the occupiers. So that land was being belonged to our to Georgia historically. But that's the thing. So there was like genocide of Georgians. There was a lot of refugees from Georgia, including Ilya Topuria's mother. She was the refugee from that war. And now the situation is that they speak completely Russian in that region. They don't speak Georgian. They consider themselves Abkhazians, but by extension Russians. And they're proud Abkhazians. They have this idea. But that's the thing. It's enough to have a generation and raise them on their propaganda that they start believing it. You know what I mean? So it's quite sad situation. So yeah, Georgia, when it comes to that, Georgians and Russians don't have a good relationship. I think that's great, fine. YouTube is the best. I'm sorry. Streamlab has been giving you so much trouble. I might help to clear the cache if you have not already. I wish could be help more. No, it's fine. I appreciate it. And I cleared cache. I did that. I used AI for a lot of things to figure out it myself too. And the other guy is also in the IT, so I think I made a new friend. I think he's very sweet. And he said that he's gonna try to keep looking for the solution and make a video for me so I can try it again. And it is what it is. But as I said, I'm not gonna stress too much about it anymore. Kadyrov was also trying to make Habib on his cricket fighters after a Conor fight. Well, that's the thing. I don't know how that would work because actually he's not from Chechnya. So he's Dagestan, and Kadyrov doesn't have any direct influence on Dagestan like that way, if you know what I mean. So it's Chechnya and Dagestan are very close with each other. Does Georgia occupy a part of Russia? Yes, a lot of Georgians say, and I'll say that too, 20% of Georgia is occupied by Russia. And it is just enough for the Georgia to not get into EU or NATO or anything. So it is a strategical move from the Russian government. And I understand that. It's like political strategy, nothing wrong with that from their side, I mean, for them, wrong for us. But the point is, as I said, Georgia as the small country willing to submit to the country that's not gonna take their identity away. You know what I mean? Because we're not economically strong country at this point anyway. We're not that strong. Like, there are multiple countries, if they wanted to, they could just, take over us and nothing would happen. But what Georgians value and the matter for most for us, it's our language, it's our identity, it's our culture, it's the Orthodox Christianity. The problem with Russia is whenever it comes to the country, it wants to Russify it. It wants to make it Russian. You know what I mean? And in a few generations, they forget who they were and where they come from. And this is why Georgia has that very heavy beef. Because Georgia being occupied by Romans, by Persians. There are like many things, and a lot of Muslim countries. And funny enough, they could not make Georgia Muslim anyways, But they kind of coexisted. There were periods when they just would take them, use it as a trading hub and use it for their purposes. But Georgia would still remain Christian, and our kings and our rulers would do everything. They would. There are some kings who sacrificed themselves. They went gave themselves as a sacrifice for country to remain Christian, for example. So that's kind of the idea of it, if we talk about it a little bit shortly. Let's go Ukraine. Georgians, we stand more with Ukraine, but if I be completely objective, the wars, it's not just, Russia. Obviously, Russia went to say the same as in Georgia, it went to Ukraine, and it had its own purposes. They want to expand, they want to occupy, they want to rebuild like the Soviet Union. At the back of their head, they have those ideas. They also don't want Western influence to come in. So it's also, okay, you try to do something in those regions, they're like, will respond. But in reality, in this war, it's not exactly who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. There's not gonna be winner in this war. You have Ukraine, who is almost being like a proxy now. And again, I mean, they got the help, they're getting the help, and in certain ways, but not enough help to end this war. But that's the thing, because you cannot just have a war and Russia recoups, does it again, right? So all the countries that got involved, it's for them to make Russia weaker economically too. The democracy already suffering there. Economically, Russian debt is raising as well to China and Iran and their Russia's ally countries. So it's basically exhausting Russia. That's the point of it. And unfortunately, that's not very good for you Ukrainians, right? For Ukrainians, it would be ideal to. So that's why and the negotiations go very slow, and the action's still going, and Ukrainians probably going to keep doing it because it's their land, and they're going to protect their land, but it's just a sad situation. And even if the war ends, there's going to be companies that are going to come in and take over the land of the Ukraine and certain businesses. I'm not going to say here which one I'm talking about. So it's not like a clean win and it's just a charity help. It doesn't work that way, right? For Russia, also, I mean, for us, it's advantage if Russia gets weaker, so they will have to go and actually start taking care of their internal affairs, especially if the Putin's government is gone and the new political dynamics happen in Russia. That is beneficial for us, so they have to focus on themselves. But it also, you never know how it ends. What if the Caucasus becomes independent, but then we have a beef with, all of a sudden we have beef with Dagestanis and Chechens, and there is Turkey from the south, there's Azerbaijan, Armenia. It's so complicated, guys. It's way more complicated than just, good and bad. Okay, I'm keep scrolling up, guys. Yeah, basically what I explained about Georgia, yeah, I mean, in Abkhazia at least, for Abkhazians, we were the occupiers. In reality, that land always belonged to Georgia. There were Georgians living there. But in the Soviet period, there were obviously a lot of Russians, a lot of Apsua people. There's like another region of the Georgia, like North Caucasus, that the Russians brought there. So then they started, and then obviously a lot of Georgians been murdered, so it was like almost like a genocide of Georgians in the region, and the refugees that managed to escape. So basically there are not that many Georgians in the region anymore, so they're like, that land is officially occupied. Can you say? Can you talk? My country is Georgia. With your husband? I don't know. He's probably working now, and he's just coming on and off to the live stream. GDM is overhyped by his fans. I didn't see any overhyping of GDM. I think opposite. I think everyone is underestimating him. Georgia is a Christian country, but they welcome all different backgrounds. Well, that's the thing, yes, and in Georgia, yes, they learned, in Tbilisi you have like most of the churches, of course, but they will have some mosques, and you have synagogue. Like that was one of the few places historically where it was trading center, And in some periods of the peace, Muslims can do their praying, Christians, obviously the majority of Christians doing their praying, and there was like even synagogues, right? The Jewish too. So it was quite coexisting of those three. Right now, the borders are quite open. A lot of Indians are coming, a lot of this. But as I said, Georgia is a very small country. It's very easy to outpopulate Georgians, right? So I think it should be a little bit stricter border politics. Not because I'm against people coming in or tourists, but just because it's such a small country. It's so easy to create an artificial inflation, like it happened with Russians coming in just because they were escaping the mobilization in their country. It's like ruined. On the paper, it lifted Georgia's economy, but it ruined it for people. Georgian people started evicting Georgians so they could rent out their apartment to tripled price to the Russians, right? This is like unspeakable and unimaginable. So a government has a blame too, and our government, unfortunately, low-key, they're acting pro-Russian, they're pushing their interest in many ways, but they're doing it very low-key. And yeah, this is the current situation of Georgia. How much? What's it talking about? We're talking about a little bit of the Georgian and Caucasus politics. It started from Merab basically mocking Dagestanis about, you're from Dagestan or Russians, like from both Russia and Dagestan. But this thing, they cannot say otherwise. They cannot. Islam will ragdoll GDM for 5 rounds, like Chimaev ragdoll places. Yeah, I mean, it's very high likelihood too. But I'm just giving a little bit credit to GDM. I think he's a little bit underestimated too. So, well, we shall see. Why does America have a state called Georgia? Well, I don't know. Americans should know that better. How much they take taxes in Georgia, the country, you mean? Well, that's the thing. The tax is quite low. You barely have a property tax. You have very low property tax if you make X amount of money, and then, if your property is not only your apartment, it's like your car and I don't know, like the garage and stuff like that. And I just found out about it recently because apparently it's not like heavily monitored. And then it's easy to open the business in Georgia, and and it's cheaper, definitely. Not gonna compare it to US, for example. How was that Vietnamese coffee? Well, this is just a juice, but Vietnamese coffee is generally great. Okay, there's some couple people that I'm just gonna time out. Guys, timing you out because please just don't be okay. Who cares? Boring? Well, I'm not gonna time you out. You can just scroll down and watch something else. Yeah, it's juice from the cafe. It is basically carrot and apple juice mix. It's quite refreshing. I usually like to order fresh coconuts, but here they don't have them. So this is like an alternative. Okay, putting another guy on the timeout. Best, we send love to Georgia. Appreciate it. Thanks. Very nice of you. Well, my Instagram ID is linked to my YouTube bio description, so you can find me on Instagram. Though I'm not responding too often, or I'm not active too often on Instagram. I pulled some stuff, some shorts, restarted uploading it more frequently, but that's pretty much it. I'm trying not to sit on the social media for too long. I mean, I'm doing live streams now, but apart from that, I'm not gonna sit and keep scrolling. I'm gonna try to live a real life, you know what I mean? who do you have winning between Valentina and Bailey? Valentina. I still go. You can go as a close fight. I'm not undermining Zhang, but I still go with Valentina. That was nice and refreshing. But okay guys, my phone is dying and I gotta do some work a little bit later. Also gonna prepare for the live streams later. You asked for boxing basics and certain combinations, and someone has a fight in a few days and they want to go through certain stuff, so we can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna set up a schedule. I'm gonna schedule the live stream so you can see what time it will launch. But thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. It was just a little random live stream, but it's always ends up to be nice conversations. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next live stream. Bye bye.